There was a bit of drama at Fremantle training earlier today. To find out a little bit more about that and everything else that's going on with the Dockers as they prepare to head to the hub, obviously in Queensland, is the Dockers' new coach, Justin Longmuir, who's been good enough for a chat. Justin, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Kelly.
Cameron McCarthy, he fainted earlier today at training and was taken away by an ambulance to hospital. Can you tell us a little bit what happened? Were you there? Did you see it?
Yeah, I was. We were in a non-contact drill. He was waiting at the back of the line and he just collapsed. So our medical staff were on the scene really quickly. They handled it really professionally and well, and they decided to take him to hospital in an ambulance as a precautionary to get him checked out and to make sure there's nothing sinister there. So we're waiting on some feedback from the hospital, and we'll try and get that to the public as soon as we know more.
Hey, Justin Dermott here. Is there any feedback and synopsis how he is? I worked a bit with Cam. I really like the young man. He looks very lean at the moment. He looks like he's running pretty hard.
Yeah, he's fit at the moment. We've tried to earmark him for more of a wing role this year, so he has dropped a few kilos. By all reports, he's well in hospital. He's just resting up. So, hopefully it's nothing sinister and, we get some good news and he can return to the group.
Justin Moons here. The one good news that you have had the last couple of days, Jesse Hogan coming back onto the training track. Tell us how he's going.
Yeah, he's going really well. He's obviously in a really good frame of mind. He's built some really strong connections within the group in the last 3 weeks. Probably the thing we've forgotten about Jesse is he's missed a lot of training and a lot of footy. So our focus really now is on his physical preparation and trying to get him resilient for AFL football, from a physical point of view. So he joined in match sim for the first time Monday. To say he went well was probably an understatement. He looks really fit. He got across the ground really well. He just led really well and slotted a couple of goals in the 10 to 15 minutes he was on. So it was a good step forward. He's still got a lot of boxes to tick to be that resilient AFL footballer, but we're on the right path.
So Justin, with the hub movement coming up next week, do you take Jesse over to Queensland with you, or do you keep him at home to keep him training there before you might send him over to Queensland?
No, at this stage, we're taking all our players. So Jesse will be on the plane. We're taking all our rehab players. We're going over as a team. All our staff that we've got available are coming over as well. So we're going over as one big group, and we're going to try and make the most of the 4 weeks we get in Queensland.
So you're travelling obviously to the Gold Coast next Tuesday. Are there any players taking any families with them at this stage?
No, not at this stage. At this stage, we'll be going over just by ourselves. The option is there for family to come over at any time individuals feel needed, and that's probably where we left it. We probably left it with the individuals more so than us trying to make a group decision or a team decision. Everyone's different. Everyone relies on their family or supports their families in different ways. So we try to leave it to the individuals, but at this stage, no one will come over for the first 2 weeks. Then families might start joining us after that.
Justin, can I get a bit of a handle on you and your coaching strategy? Are you more of a we have a process, we go through that process, or are you a flexible coach that might try and swing and alter game plans within certain games? How would you describe yourself on match day?
Well, first and foremost, I think consistency is the real key with coaching. So I try and sell a consistent message. I think players really respond to consistency. My philosophy on match day is that most of the work is done during the week. So I try not to be too reactive to decision-making on match day. I try and let the players work it out for themselves. And given that opportunity, first and foremost, clearly there's situations where we can help from the coach's box, but trying to make sure that we educate our players to make decisions on game day and really control what between the quarter breaks look like and try and give them some autonomy to make decisions. Clearly, we can help from the coach's box, but trying to educate our players to become leaders on the ground and make some of those decisions themselves.
Just drilling into the micro of it, if Nat Fyfe kicks a goal, will he run to the bench and have a sit down?
I've never been a believer of rotating after a goal, and I don't really think many coaches are. It just coincidentally happens a lot. Something over the pre-season with Fyfe we've tried to work on is him playing forward a little bit more so that he's able to get a bit of isolation and able to manage his game time a little bit better so we can leave him on the field for long periods of time. So hopefully we see that against Brisbane.
So you talk about maybe using Fyfe more in the forward line. Are you still learning about the strengths and weaknesses of these players? For example, do you know where Michael Walters' best position is?
Well, overall, I'm still learning a lot about our players, both on and off the field. I'm learning a lot about their characters. I think the shutdown provided a great opportunity to see a lot about their characters, and I learned a lot over that time. Sonny, in particular, I see him being able to play multiple roles for us, and I think we've seen that over his journey. He's an elite small forward, but his ability to find the footy through the middle of the ground, I really like the intensity he brings through the middle of the ground with his tackle pressure, his hunt on the ball. So, a bit like Fyfe, we're going to try and manage their game times and where they spend portions of the game. I'd like to see them both play midfield and forward, and they do tend to work well together. So that's something we've been trying to find the perfect blend. Clearly, we're only one game in, so we'll continue to experiment. I feel like we've got a lot of midfield depth on our list as well, so trying to fit them all in and try and get their rotation so they spend equal amount of time or the right amount of time forward and midfield is sometimes tricky as a coach, and that's some of the things you've got to manage in games.
Justin, Joel Hamling, can you give us a little update on what's going on there? Just saw some notes before, said maybe out for the season. What's going on?
Yeah, well, we haven't written him off for the season. He had a really serious ankle injury that has given him a little bit of grief since he had the surgery. He went in and had a minor operation to remove some scar tissue. Hopefully that actually helps quicken up the recovery process, as he had some real trouble with the joint, just some flexibility in there. So hopefully that helps speed up the recovery. We're still earmarking him to play some footy at the end of the year. So, he's progressing in his rehab, albeit slowly at the moment.
Justin, it's a very serious question from me. Is the real Justin Longmuir the one who kicked that goal at Subiaco that day after the siren, or the one we're seeing tonight? Will the real one please stand up?
Nah, to be honest, I'm probably a little bit more low-key and keep my emotions to myself most of the time. Unfortunately, they bubbled over a bit that night and I got a little bit carried away, as Moon said.
How are the emotions in that final minute of round one game against the Bombers? Because I'm guessing you're not a fan of the 16-minute quarters.
Unlucky.
If the quarter went a little bit longer, you had the 4 points.
Yeah, it was obviously a disappointing way to sort of go out on an 8-week break. And I think that's the situation we were talking about before. It's really hard to control anything from the coach's box when there's a minute 30 on the clock and you've got the ball in your front half. Clearly you can't get any rotations or messages out there. So you just trust the players to execute the game plan, and you're sort of hoping for a little bit of luck and the ball fall your way. Unfortunately it didn't, but I feel like there's something we can really build off out of that performance.
Saw the news during the week about your captain going back home and doing a little bit of truck driving. Justin, how are his hamstrings after, 15,000 Ks behind the wheel? How's he handled all that?
Yeah, well, he's clearly done a lot of that in the past, and it's not something that's really foreign to him, so that gave me a little bit of confidence. I also understand that he's a really professional athlete, and you don't get to where he's been without being that type of athlete. So I was a little bit concerned about him spending so much time sitting on his backside, but I knew at the end of a hard day truck driving, you'd get out and run a few laps and present himself in peak physical condition. So it's all worked out pretty well.
So if your first question to the boys when they came back was, how many Ks have you done?
He's just blown everyone away.
He could respond, I've gone 4 times around Australia. We might leave it there. Justin Longmuir, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck in the hub in sunny Queensland. Of course, that first game against the Lions on Saturday the 13th.
Thank you.
Justin Longmuir, the brand new coach. How's that? 9 months in the job. And he's coached 1 game. That is the definition of a baptism
without a win
fire.
and hasn't had a chance to rectify it. Yeah, that'd be
You'd have itchy feet, wouldn't you? You'd be just wanting to get back in. And 3 weeks, these 3 weeks will fly for him because he'd be that excited getting around, talking to the boys, going into meetings. You know, he'd be loving it.
He's obviously can get a little bit more jovial than that, but you look at that coach and you just know that if anything was wrong and you go to him, you know you've got a very, very even-minded man who's going to listen to you, take a second and then tell you what he thinks of the situation.
Yeah, the emotions were very much in check in the final minutes of that game.
Players reflect the demeanour of their coach, so this could work out very well for them.